Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to another episode of the Minecraft Survival Let's Play. So I'm just starting off today's episode with a quick time lapse. I just wanted to clear up a lot of the junk and stuff around the island. So you can see that I'm getting rid of a few of the buildings that I don't really need anymore. And then as you can see now, I'm building the final podium in the corner. So this is where the netherite beacon is going to go eventually. Obviously I'm a long way away from completing that. But anyway, into the live commentary part of the episode. I just wanted to quickly talk about the time-lapse, because I've wanted to do third-person time-lapses for a while. I think it will improve my videos overall. But it's not really possible to do them on Xbox, because you need a second account or something to join and then record from a different angle. You can't just get a camera account or whatever, like the replay mod and stuff that you can do on a PC. So it has taken me a while. But like I mentioned in the last episode, I got another Xbox, so I upgraded mine. So I've got two Xboxes at the moment. So this is my second account here. I've just joined on this account. And then to get the time-lapse recorded, I just stood up here in the sky. And then I put this glass roof on top like this. Then I just stood here and looked down there so I could see like the full island. And then that's how I recorded the time-lapse. So obviously I went over to my second account and then I cleaned up the island. So the time-lapse wasn't exactly perfect because, well, there's a few different reasons. First of all, I can't move this account here, so when I look down, I've got to stay in the exact same place. So I can't be doing like those time lapses where the camera moves or anything like that. Another reason, as you can see, if you look at my character there, so the second account, you actually can't see the character. I've got to get a little bit closer. So if you watch the diamond beacon, as I move closer on the other account, it will come into view as it gets to the top of the stairs. So yeah, you can only just see it there. So when I'm doing time lapses where I'm at a distance like this, it's just going to look like the blocks are disappearing without anyone there to break them or whatever. So I think it will be better doing time lapses, like if I was to do a time lapse of this lighthouse over here, I think it could look quite nice if I just like pillared up into the sky and then had a good view of the lighthouse. I think that would look quite nice, and then I'd be able to see my second account because it's not too far away, if that makes sense. But yeah, I have wanted to do these third-person time-lapses for quite a while. A few other people have mentioned it before as well. I can finally do them. It's probably going to take a little bit of time to get used to them and get the right angles and stuff. And it's not going to be perfect for a few different reasons, like I've mentioned. And also, my controller dies after 15 minutes of being inactive. So if I'm recording it on this account, I will have to cut the time-lapse every 15 minutes and then like merge it together at the end. So yeah, it is a little bit extra work than what I would have to do if I was on a PC and had the replay mod and stuff. But at least I can do them now. I will try to like do one every episode or two, just to get used to them, and then hopefully eventually I can actually get quite good at recording the time lapses in third person. But yeah, that's just how I wanted to start off today's episode, just a little bit of a trial with the time lapse just to see how it would turn out. But you can see that I just spent some time clearing up the island. I got rid of a few of the things that were around that I don't really need anymore. And I built this beacon thing as well, like the podium. So I've already got the gold, the diamond and the emerald one. And this is for the netherite. So yeah, it's going to be quite a while before I'm done with the netherite beacon. I think I've got about 18 blocks or something in my ender chest. So I think it's 18. So yeah, it's going to be a long time before I've got 2 stacks and 36 to complete this beacon. But I think I'm actually going to place these blocks and then just start the progress now. So it should complete 2 lines here. So it'd be 9 on this one and 9 on this one as well. So yeah, obviously it's only a tiny little bit of progress. But I think it's going to be nice just to have all of my progress on show from now on. So every time I fly past, I'll be able to see like how close I am to completing the netherite beacon. Just a couple more things I quickly wanted to mention. I still don't have all of the goat's horns. I need a few more, so I've just hid the goats under here for now, underneath this grass block or the path block. I'm going to have to build something for these eventually, and then I need to get the rest of the horn. And one other thing, I collected a stack of these beehives or bees nests a few episodes ago, and I've gone ahead and emptied them all. So they actually stack up now before they didn't stack. So what I'm going to do is take this one out of here, and then I can add them to the checklist. So that's a full stack of these bees nests checked off as well. And there's actually not many more items to go in that chest, so I might complete that pretty soon. And for anyone who's wondering how I emptied all of the bees' nests, basically I just put them down. I got some bees inside them. I waited till it was full of honey. I killed the bees, and then as soon as I emptied the honey, I broke it again. So that means all of the honey levels have been reset to 0, and that means they can all stack up to 64. So I'm still not entirely sure what project I want to do in today's episode. There's 2 projects I want to do. I'm not sure which one I'm actually going to do. But before I decide, I just want to come over to the project I worked on in the last episode, and I want to add a few finishing touches. So there's not really too much I've got to do, but I am just going to finish the roof in here. So I've got some basalt blocks. I think what I'm going to do is try and go for a similar design to what I've got out here. So I'm just going to come up with some weird pattern in the ceiling with the different versions of basalt. And then once I've done that, there's one more thing I need to do to the tunnel. And then this project is completely finished. Okay, that's the ceiling done. Like I said, it's pretty much just a repeat of this pattern that's out here. It looks a little bit strange because of how this room's set up. Like it's not exactly centered, but it kind of is at the same time. Like it just doesn't look like it's centered. Yeah, that is the roof done in here. I like how this all turned out. The next thing I need to do is head down into the tunnel. So it's actually quite a long trip. It takes at least 2 minutes to get there. So I'll be back once it's near the end. Okay, so we're coming up to the corner now. So it just turns left at the end of here. And I'll stay in the minecart and I'll show you what the problem is. So I always get set on fire at this corner here. I think it should be quite a simple fix. So I'll just wait until I'm not on fire anymore. And I think all I've got to do is replace the blocks here, like underneath the corners, with solid blocks. So I brought some gravel along so I can just like fill this up with solid blocks. I think I'll have to do it on the other side as well. So then I'll just put the slabs back, and then I'll do it for these 3 blocks as well right here. And I actually forgot that I had the netherrack here. So if I had more netherrack, I could have just used that instead, but I brought the gravel along. I'm just going to shove all of this here, and then the same here, and then that should fix the problem. And for anyone who didn't see the last episode, this is the frog-light farm that I built. It is actually pretty efficient considering how easy it was to build. So I'm stocking up on a load of the frog lights. I do actually like these blocks, but I don't think I'm ever going to use this many. I've got all of these, I've got loads more back at the base as well. The main reason I've been using this farm is for the magma creams. I just think it's nice that I can finally craft the magma blocks. So yeah, that's the main reason I use this farm actually. But anyway, if I get back in the minecart and I start heading this way, the rail is quite slow, but once I get to the corner, hopefully this time it doesn't set me on fire. And then if it doesn't, that is going to be this project completely finished. So yeah, I thought that was the problem, so now I've got rid of the lava that was underneath those slabs, it's fine. So yeah, this is a 100% complete project. Okay, so I wasn't 100% sure what I wanted to do in today's episode, but I've decided I'm going to do a piglin bartering farm. I've wanted to do this for a long time anyway, so I think I'll finally do it. I did work in the nether in the last episode doing the frog-light farm, but I'm sure people won't mind if I do 2 nether episodes in a row. So I'm just going to dig out a space in here. This is where the farm's going to go, in the nether hub. I've planned this out for a long time now. So I'm just going to dig some space out, and then I'll get a room set up, and then we can start moving the piglins into place. Okay, so I made a little bit of progress in here. I've basically just dug out the room and planned out what's going to go where. So I've got 6 of these little pods, and this is where all of the piglins are going to go. So I've already set up one of the modules. I'm not actually sure if it definitely works or not. I'm going to try get a piglin in here in a second, and if this one works, I'm just going to copy it and build it another 5 times. So you can see I've got 3 over on that side, and then 3 over on this side, and then over on this big wall here, this is where the storage is going to go. So I think there's like 15 different items you can get from this farm. But some of them can't be stacked, so you can't really filter them. I'm not sure like what the best way to do this is, but I think I'm just going to make a filter for all of the stackable items, and then the rest of them can just come to the chests at the end. So that's probably how I'm going to do the storage. So yeah, I think I'm ready just to try and get a piglin in here, and we'll see if it actually works. So I just showed the redstone quickly actually, so it's very simple. This torch doesn't actually go there. This is just to lock the hopper to make it easier to get the piglin in place. So the torch goes there. There's a trapdoor just in here on the back of this block, and then there's a hopper where the piglin is going to stand, a comparator coming out into a solid block with the torch, and then the dropper above, and this is going to shoot out all of the gold once I've got the farm set up properly. I thought I'd leave a little bit of a gap up at the top so I could put a chest up there, and then I can filter the gold in from out here. I'm not sure like how I'm going to do that exactly, but I'm sure I can figure something out there, just to get the gold into the dropper so I don't have to come back here and then fill it up all the time. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I can just go ahead and get the piglin now. But first of all, I'm just going to get this torch and then place it there. And that just locks this hopper, so when I get the piglin, I can just come out here, throw some gold on top of the hopper like this, and then the piglin will run into there. So that's just to make it easier to get him into place. And I think before I get him, I'm actually going to put a light source up here. So I need to go and decide which light source to use. Probably a shroom light. I think that's probably the best to use in the nether. So I'm quickly going to go get one of them, and then a black carpet to put on here as well. Okay, so I put the shroom light up there, and that's just to light it up a little bit inside. It was a little bit dark. And then I can put a black carpet above the hopper, just so I can't see the hopper. So I think that's going to look nice. I had the glass here, but I don't think I'm going to use the regular glass. I'll probably get some black glass or something to cover that up afterwards. I'm not really too sure about all of the aesthetics and stuff in here just yet. I'm going to try and get the functionality here first, and then I'll focus on what I'm going to do with the rest of the room. Yeah, I'm just going to try and find a piglin. I'm not really sure what the best way to do this is. If anyone knows how my nether hub is set up, it's quite high up in the world. If I dig down somewhere over here, you can actually go into the nether, like down below. It's going to be quite hard to get a piglin up here. So I think the best way to do this is probably to go to my tunnel over here for the froglight farm. And like halfway down the tunnel, or halfway down these stairs here, I can actually break out into the nether. So I don't really remember where it is, but it's kind of far down, probably about here-ish. So I'll just break through here and see what's going on. Maybe a little bit further down actually. Okay, so I can break through just down here into one of these crimson forests. And I think the piglins are quite common here, like this is where they spawn the most. So I should be able to find some around here somewhere. I want the ones with the swords, I don't want the ones with the bow. So hopefully I can find a few of them. I've got my name tags and I've got the gold, so it should be kind of easy to load them back up. But first of all, I've just got to find some. Okay, so I found a couple up here. I think that one's going to die. I'm going to try and get this one here with the sword. So if I jump over here and throw the gold, I think it might... No, it didn't see that. Maybe if I throw it up a little bit. It just doesn't seem to care about the gold for some reason. I might have to get a little bit closer. Okay, so I finally got him interested in the gold. And I don't know, it's just gone. So the tunnel is right below us, pretty much right there. I'm going to have to like get him round the side. It might be easier to take my gold helmet off and see if he chases me. So I'll just try to get him towards the tunnel a little bit more, and then I'll try that and see if that works. I might have to break some blocks to try and get him down. It's going to be quite a pain to get all 6 of these in place. But hopefully the farm actually works, and then it's not going to be a waste of time getting this one in place. So if I throw it over there, it should follow that. No. So it's kind of slow. It might just be easier to take my helmet off, so I think I'm going to try that instead. So we'll put it on my hotbar just in case I need to get it back on. So now I don't have any gold armour on, he's going to start chasing me. And then I just need to get him into here. Oh, and he came straight in, so I put my helmet back on. And he's actually still angry even though I've got the gold on. I didn't think he'd still be angry, but you know, at least it makes it easier just to chase me up the stairs. Okay, he's very angry. So I don't know if I throw gold if he's going to lose aggro. No, he doesn't even care about the gold anymore. So it might be kind of hard to get him in place if he's so aggressive. Okay, so he picked up some gold and then he lost the aggro, but now he's running away. There's nothing down here, so I'm not sure where he's going. He might be like locked onto a hoglin or something like that. I'm just going to try and make a trail of gold towards where I need to take him. It might take a few minutes to get him there. but it shouldn't be too difficult. Okay, so it's pretty much in place now. I'm just going to nudge him a little bit, put that glass in to stop him from getting out, and then I've got some name tags. I'm just going to call him 1, and then I'll leave him there. Put the other glass in. I will probably change that out in a second. So I think that should be the farm up and running. I've just got to change a couple of things around here. So remove this torch to unlock the hopper. Put the torch there, and then I think I can just put some gold in here, and that should start the farm. So the way this farm works is every time some items get dropped in the hopper below, it will give an update to the comparator here, and once all of the items are out of the hopper, it will give a second update, and then it will fire some gold. So it's not exactly the most efficient farm. I know you can get like way more efficient Piglin Bartering farms set up, but to be honest, I don't really need most of the items you get from this farm anyway. The only ones I really want is a crying obsidian, because it's like the only way you can get this in bulk. And then I also want the, I forget what it is, the blackstone as well, just because it's kind of annoying to mine. The quartz is also useful, but I've got villagers to trade for them. But yeah, those are the ones that are most important, and my pad just died, so I'm going to have to get some more batteries. So yeah, now the farm is working, I know I can copy this another 5 times. So I want 6 of these piglins overall. The farm itself, or the module, takes like a minute or 2 to build, and it didn't actually take me too long to get the piglin up here either. Yeah, this shouldn't take too long at all. I think I'm just going to do this off camera, and then I'll come back, and I'm really not too sure what I'm going to do to decorate this room, but I'm sure I can figure out something. I got a little bit carried away, and I made more progress than I wanted to make in one like jump cut, but I've actually not done that much. It just looks like I've done quite a lot. So all I've really done is I've finished the modules, so I've built 5 more of these. That was very easy to do. And then I've got a piglin into each of them. Again, that didn't take long whatsoever. But I actually had to rip a load of it out. So the original plan, like I said before, was to have the hopper line going underneath all of the piglins. And it was going to pick up all of the items and then take it into the storage system and filter them automatically. But the problem with that is there was just too many items going through it at once, and it was going to cause some issues like trying to filter all of the items into the chest. If you do this in the overworld, you can use water, then it makes it easy just to cycle the items back around, and then they can go through a second time. But because I'm in the nether, I couldn't do that, so I decided just to do some manual storage instead. So yeah, instead of having all of the items get filtered automatically into the chest, each module now just has a chest at the bottom. I'm going to get all of the items out, then I'm going to sort them manually. So it's a little bit of extra work, but I think this is probably the best way to do it. Then you'll notice here that I've already got the chest wall, and I've got some item frames up at the top. So I set up this chest wall, and I've got 13 rows of chests, or columns of chests. And there's, I think, 18 items you can get from this farm. So this is all of the items that come out of this farm. And I had to decide which 13 I wanted to keep, and then which 5 I wanted to throw away. So the 13 at the top are the ones I decided to keep. You can see it's pretty much all of the stackable items apart from the arrows. And then I'm going to keep the Soul Speed 3 books as well. So this is a Soul Speed 2, but I'm going to keep all of these Soul Speed 3. And then the ones I'm going to throw away are just these useless ones down at the bottom. I might keep a few shulker boxes of these fire resistance potions and then just use some redstone to turn them into 8-minute ones. But I don't really need this stuff, especially the iron boots, those are just useless. And then the arrows, I get so many of these from the mob farm, there's no point of keeping them either. So these are the ones I've decided to keep at the top. I actually added an on and off switch to this farm as well, so there's one on each side, so there's one for those 3 over here. Then one over this side for these 3 modules. So the redstone's pretty simple. When the lever is up, the farm is turned on. So all of these repeaters turn off, and then it activates the farm. But if I flick the lever down, all of the repeaters turn on, and then it deactivates the farm. So it's very simple, just an on and off switch. That's the same on both sides. Before I forget to mention, this is not a design by me. Like, I did not design the individual modules. I tried coming up with a design a while ago when they first came out, like a couple of years ago now. But I used a timer to dispense the gold instead. It wasn't very good at all. So I decided to go for this design. It's by, I think it's called Wattles or something like that. I've never really heard of him before, but it's got over 1 million subs. But I'll leave a link to the video that I watched down in the description for anyone who wants to check that out. I also realised that I've decorated the farm, so I had the design in mind. I've just gone ahead and I've like mixed up the blocks a bit. So it doesn't look as clean anymore, but I think this looks better with it all like mixed up with some cracked bricks in there, a bit of this gilded black stone, there's some regular black stone, then the occasional like polished thing in the floor as well. So yeah, I've just gone ahead and mixed it all up. Same here with the deep slate, and I think that rough feeling looks a lot better in here than like before when it was all just regular black stone and then regular polished, I think this is a polished basalt. Yeah, I think it definitely looks better now I've mixed it up a little bit. And of course the floor here, I didn't really have too many options. Like I don't want anything spawning inside the nether hub. So I've kind of got to use glass or slabs or stairs all over the floor. So I went for glass, then I thought it'd just look nice if I had the magma blocks underneath. Over here around the outside I've gone for some black stone, and I had to put the pressure plates on top just to stop things from spawning as well. So everywhere I build in this nether hub, I need to make sure it's spawn proof. This is a way that I've managed to do it in here. But yeah, that's pretty much this project finished. All I've got left to do is the ceiling, and I've got no idea what I'm going to do just yet. So I think there's a couple of other things I want to do, and then I'm going to come back and do the ceiling a little bit later on. So I do want to get it finished in today's episode. But first of all, I actually want to get a stack of this crying obsidian. So this is one of the items I've not actually checked off the checklist yet. So I'm going to head back to the base, then we'll add this to the checklist. And into the checklist room, there's actually 2 items that I need to add to this nether chest here. So of course the first one is the crying obsidian. And then here I've got the smooth basalt, so I can add that, and that's a full stack of those. And I'm pretty sure those are the last 2 items that I needed for this chest to check off every single item. So everything in here is stacked up to 64 now. And that means I can just head behind here and I can turn the lever on, and that is another chest that is fully completed. I feel like it's been a long time since I last completed a full chest, and I'm not even sure how many I've got completed now, but there's still quite a few to go. There's some quite annoying ones like the food over here where there's just a load of different items I need to build farms for and stuff. But I've made a decent amount of progress on a lot of the chests already. And you can see I've completed quite a few as well. Now I've got the Piglin Bartering farm built, I want to go over to the gold farm and just stock up on some of the gold over there. So I don't really use this thing too often. I don't think I've showed it in an episode for quite a while. Probably last time I did a world tour at episode 25. But it's just over here, and I've actually got a load of gold in here. So I think all of these chests are full on this column, and then I started filling them up on this column as well. I might start from the top. So I've got plenty of gold here. I'm just going to fill up a few shulker boxes and then take it back over to the Piglin Bartering farm. And back over in the nether, I've gone ahead and I've put all of that gold into some chests here. So I've got a chest full of gold on this side, and then this side as well. And then all of these hoppers are also full, and they all go into this one shulker box here. So I'm going to cover this back up. We'll put that there, this here, and then just like put the stairs randomly spread out like this, just to randomize it up a little bit. And then yeah, that's pretty much all of this done now. So every time I need gold, I can just come to the shulker box here, get some out, and then it will just get refilled. So this should be way more gold than I'm ever going to use for this project. But like I've just showed you, I've got so much gold and I don't really know what to do with it all. So yeah, a lot of it's just going to go into this bartering farm, and I really don't know what to do with the rest of it. So if anyone's got any ideas for what I could do with loads of gold, just let me know down below in the comments. So all that's left to do to complete this project is the ceiling, and I will get to that. I'm definitely going to do it in this episode, but I just want to head back to the overworld quickly, and I want to add a few more items to the checklist. So back over to the checklist room. And I was actually just looking through these chests a couple of days ago, and I realised there is actually quite a few items that I could check off the checklist that I've already got like farms for and stuff like that I've just not got round to doing yet. And one of those was up here, and that is the deep slate and copper chest. So I just went ahead and I crafted all of the different deep slate blocks, and then I've added them all to the chest, so that's a full stack of all of the different variants of deep slate. Of course I don't have the copper yet. There's actually a lot of different copper blocks, and it takes a while for it to weather and oxidize and stuff like that. I don't actually have that much copper either. So it'll be a while before I can get all of that added and then like complete the chest for good. But I thought I'd just go ahead and craft all of the different deep slate blocks, and that's quite a few more items checked off the checklist. And then a few more items I've decided to check off in today's episode all go in the mob drops chest right here. So the ender pearls, I actually don't have an enderman farm, but I do have the Piglin Bartering farm now, so that means I can get the ender pearls, then eyes of ender pretty easily. I built a squid farm ages ago and then I just never added the ink sacs to the checklist. So that's a full stack of ink sacs, and then the magma creams as well. So of course I built the frog-like farm in the last episode. I get a lot of magma cream from that. So those are 4 more items checked off the checklist. So I'm actually running out of time to record for today. I want to get this episode uploaded tomorrow on the Saturday. It's currently the Friday. So I went ahead last night and I just finished the roof in here. I actually really like how this turned out. I just kind of threw it together. I had an idea of what I wanted to do, and then I just built it, and I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I wanted to get some of these raw gold blocks in here, so I've put 3 in the roof, and then I've put 1 like just above the chest as well, just to kind of show that that's where the gold goes. Like, I really like this block, but there's not really that many builds you can use it in. But I think it goes well with this like theme with the gilded blackstone, and then I've got some gold ore over here as well. So I'm pretty happy with how this entire project turned out. I feel like it's not that often that I start a project in an episode and then completely finish that project in the same episode. But this project is completely finished now. And I did actually use it, so I edited the rest of this video last night. And while I was editing the video, I just stayed here AFK. I turned the farms on and then I was just stocking up on a load of these resources. So I got plenty of blackstone, plenty of gravel. I took some of this back to the base as well. Loads of soul sand. I actually used a lot of these quartz on a different project already, but I've got a load of quartz. It's going to be quite useful for comparators and stuff. And then the soul speed books at the end. I've got a full double chest of these. I don't even use soul speed on my boots. So you can see what I've got on my boots there. I don't actually use soul speed, but I've got plenty of them in case I ever need them. And it's kind of embarrassing, but this is like my main source of iron at the moment. I don't have an iron farm, so this is like my main way of getting iron. So that's actually going to be quite useful. So these are all of the items that I've been getting, and this farm is fully completed. But anyway, that's everything that I wanted to do in today's episode, and like I said, I am running out of time to record. So I'm going to end the episode, but quickly I just want to ask one more thing. So I have an episode planned in like, it's probably going to come out in about 3 weeks, maybe a month. And I want to do a Q&A. So I've not done one for like a year, maybe 2 years now. And I want to do another one. So if anyone's got any questions, just let me know down in the comments. It can be kind of personal, but I don't want to answer too many personal questions. You can ask me about the world or the game or what my plans are. Ask me like about my goals on YouTube or whatever. So yeah, you can just ask any questions down below in the comments. But just put like a hashtag Q&A before the question, and then I know that you want to get your question answered in a video and not just for me to reply in the comments. So yeah, if anyone's got any questions at all, just let me know, and I'm going to pick about 15 to 20 of them, I think. But anyway, that is everything that I wanted to do in today's episode. So I hope everyone enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time.